Alright guys, Easy Amateur Radio here with two of my absolute favorite radios on the market right now and that are around. We have the Xiegu X6100 and the Icom 705. My camera's acting a little funny on the Icom, so the screen is not that blurry, almost like you're looking at it through astigmatism. But these two radios are very similar, and when the X6100 came out, people called it the 705 killer. I don't necessarily know about that. I think both of these radios have their places. And we're going to start with some side-by-side comparisons. You can see the screens and everything are about the same. You can see that the controls are completely different on the front of the radios. But the X6100 is extremely thin compared to the 705. When you turn it on its side, you can see just how thin it is. And we'll turn the 705 on its side, and that's kind of an odd, kind of a bulky shape. So we're going to talk about what I like and what I don't like about each one of these radios, and kind of see which one you prefer. We're going to start with the X6100. We'll switch it over so you can see the signal starting to come in on the screen. I'll start with what I like. This radio comes out the box USB-C, which is awesome. It has an internal battery in it, and it has a built-in tuner. So it kind of has everything you need in the radio, as well as a PTT button and a front-facing microphone. So you can use this radio as an HT. Both of these radios have B and C connectors on them. But my absolute favorite thing about the X6100 is the SWR sweep that you can get within the radio. This is what it looks like with the first menu setting. Here's menu setting 2. You can kind of just go around and see what's up. Display, system settings, yada yada yada. That's how you access all the memories on here. You know, if that's what you like, then great. This radio is especially for you. We can click through the general menus, then we have the app and things like that. There's your CW stuff, messages. So we'll go back to app and look at the SWR scan. So you can see what the radio is doing right now is scanning the 20 meter band, finding where those resonant dips are on this end-fed half wave. I think that's pretty neat. Really neat about it. I really like that. There you can see we're getting outside of the band. We got a really big jump, and that's partially because I touched the antenna connection. So we'll go ahead and exit that. I'm a big fan of this. The screen looks really, really well. But now let's talk about the bad side of the X6100. You cannot take the internal battery out of this radio, and it has some quirks. It's a Linux-based device. You know, it's basically running a small computer system in there. Both of these radios are SDR-controlled radios, software-defined radios. But this radio has some quirks, you know. Had some problems with it over the years. This is my second one. My first one had a lot of problems, but you can really hack the X6100. But now, let's come over here and look at the 705. You know, this radio is fantastic. This is my radio that I bring with me everywhere. We'll go ahead and turn it where you can have the signals coming in, and we'll go ahead and look, see if we can't expand this set. You see, this is how you access the menus on the 705. You go through the menu system, you can set stuff, things like that. We want to see our scope. We want a bigger scope, so let's expand. That kind of gives you further outlook. I want the big scope. Anyway, we're not going to fight with this. We'll try it one more time. This radio is touchscreen. Gives you all the doodads and stuff that you want. I like that it's touchscreen. This radio has a lot of accessibility just right up front. The menu buttons, you can go through, set whatever you like. The SWR sweep on this radio, you have to click through it with the microphone. Not a big fan of this. This radio is micro USB out the box. I have converted this one to USB-C. There's a kit that you can buy, but you can see the signals coming in there. You can see them coming in fine and things like that. Now we're going to kind of switch to the audio to let you hear. I'm going to go back to 14.300, which is the Bodie McBoat face net. the Maritime Mobile Net. They're always here, no matter what. So let's turn it up and see what we can hear going on. There's your filters and how to change your filters and things. We'll bring that back where it needs to be. And then we'll turn it on.
India 5 Kilo November X-ray.
So there you go. There's 50%. We just heard that exchange. We'll listen to it a little bit more. This is a much more pleasant radio to listen to all around. Everything in it is nice. It's well put together. Both these radios have a front firing speaker. You know, one thing after another. 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
Antenna pointed your way. You're about a 5 over S9 into Denver, and the audio sounds great.
And we're going to swap it to the X6100. You can see the signals now coming in on the X6100. Go ahead and turn the volume up. So you can see it's not as much fun to listen to, and we'll just let that play for a few seconds. You can see that it's kind of walking for some reason. It's not staying on frequency. That's been something that I've experienced. That shuts the screen off, but it also locks it. And then we'll turn the screen brightness back up. But you can see over here, we'll go ahead and turn that down now that you've seen the difference. Let's look at the 705. And this is my favorite feature about the 705. We'll flip this back around. You see right here, we'll pull this out. That's the battery. We can just slap a new one in, turn it around, and just like that, our radio's coming back online. Just like that, something that simple. We'll flip it back over.
We'll talk to you later.
Much better audio coming out of this radio. I really like the 705 over the X6100, but the difference is the prices. Let's talk about the prices on these. So the X6100 on the used market goes for somewhere in the neighborhood, we'll call it $450 to $500. The Icom 705 goes for a whopping $1,100 to $1,200 new. I've seen them as low as $900 used. But one thing you can see right here is this Elecraft T1 tuner. The 705 does not have an internal tuner. But like I mentioned, these radios are similar and different. If you're having trouble figuring out which one's for you, which one you like, if you're looking for something to throw in a bag that you're not really worried about tearing up, something that doesn't cost a whole lot of money but has everything you need in a small package, the X6100 might be for you. If you want a reliable, full-functioning, great-sounding radio, the 705 is for you. Now, one big difference that I'm about to touch on that I haven't touched on yet, and I've kind of been saving it for a reason. We will look at the frequencies on the 705, and that's right. This radio does 2 meters and 440. The X6100 is HF only, 60 through 80 meters. But that's what we're looking at, guys. That was the deciding factor for the 705. This was the first real new radio that I ever purchased was the 705, and I've never been disappointed with it one bit. Both of these radios, 5-watt output on internal batteries. With external, you can get 10 watts out. 73, guys, this is Easy Amateur Radio. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for slugging it out with me. 73.